I know you've been feeling mentally drained every day. I know you've been feeling that brain fog and decline in memory function. Listen, I know you just feeling an overall sense of mental exhaustion, bro. I know that's what you've been feeling. But you're not alone, dude. You're not alone. See, most people are just raw dog in modern life. Humans have been around for approximately like 300,000 years, and the Industrial Revolution was like, what, 250 years ago? Genealogically, we are the same Stone Age humans. We ain't evolved for modern life, and that mismatch causes many problems for modern humans. We aren't built to weather the mental bombardment we face every day. Like, listen, like we make thousands of micro decisions every day. Look, some sources suggest around 35,000 micro decisions every day. I'm not really sure of the accuracy of that figure, but that's besides the point. Humans just 2,000 years ago likely made a small fraction of that amount. Our brains are like computers. Like that many microprocesses, it clouds our mental RAM and leads to like decision fatigue. Like, bro, we weren't built to sustain that kind of mental activity daily, and it drains mental resources from more productive endeavors and problem solving. And you might be asking, how do you know all this? Why are you talking about me like that? Like, shut my bitch ass up. Why? What make you think you know what I'm going through? Because I'm going through the same shit, dog. Because it's me too.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby! Baby want a bottle? A big dirt bottle?
But listen, over my life, whether, consciously or unconsciously, I've developed a few habits that like drastically reduce the amount of mental energy I expend like on menial and small tasks daily. These habits make me feel more motivated throughout the day and less exhausted. And if you experience any of these ailments, maybe they can help you too.
Attention! The brain has found a 4-hour video on Mario Kart speedruns! There will be no sleep, period, tonight!
I can't do this anymore. We don't even like Mario Kart.
First thing on the list, bro, is super easy, super simple. It might be a little bit embarrassing, but look at me, bro. I wear the same fit to work every day. It's not flashy or exceptionally noteworthy, but it really does. Like, it's small, but it enables me to spend less time worrying about what to wear. And, I got about 7 different pairs of the same black polo shirt and jeans that I wear to work every day. And I rotate the same set of gym clothes every week, bro. Listen, I'm starting off small with this list. It is small, but like, let me tell you, it does do wonders. And it's kind of the same thing as the second thing on this list, which is I meal prep and eat the same meals relatively every day, more or less. See, one of the best things about becoming an adult is eating whatever you want. But after a while, it really becomes a chore to have to decide what you're going to eat every day. And that really enables a lot of bad habits to form with a lot of people. People just, end up ultimately just eating out, eating takeout, open up DoorDash. That decision fatigue, like that friction is like, it's so easy to just relegate that decision and just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat something bad today. And we don't want that. So this step is like a twofold benefit, because it's gonna reduce that mental fatigue, but also it's going to make you intentional, much more intentional about what you're putting into your body, and ultimately it'll result in a much healthier lifestyle. Like, you're gonna be eating healthier. It's easier to force yourself to eat healthy when you're being this intentional about what you're eating every day, right? When you're planning what is gonna go in your body on a weekly basis, it's a lot easier to be healthy. I cook a lot of food on Sundays, and I eat the same packed lunch every day. I cook a huge amount of food, and I just put them in Tupperwares for the week. This one for Monday, this one for Tuesdays, you know what I'm saying? Then I come home, right? Like, I eat that for lunch at work, come home, eat relatively the same thing. And this way, I usually only leave it up to weekends for me to consciously decide what I'm gonna eat, right? If I want to cook something crazy, if I'm going out with friends and I want to eat out that day, you know, I can budget for that. If you're cooking and eating home cooked food for like the majority of the week, you're saving up a lot of room in your wallet. So that one meal you eat takeout on Saturday night isn't gonna, you know, you're not gonna feel as guilty as about that. It's not gonna make as much impact into your finances. It's not gonna make as much as an impact on your stomach, on your weight and your health. You know what I'm saying? This is another small thing, but it does make a big difference. See, now we get into the big points that I want to make in this video. Number 3 on this list is I keep my phone notifications on silent. No ringtone, no vibration, just silent. Only certain emergency phone calls come through. Like my mom called me, that's gonna go through. But listen, everything for the most part is silent. And I mean, I check my phone whenever I check my phone, right? Which is typically still gonna be pretty often throughout the day. But I'm not obsessively checking my phone like 10 times every 10 minutes, right? And typically there's nothing important anyway. 9 times out of 10 throughout the day when I'm checking my phone, there's nothing really important for me to see, right? Unless it's work related. This is really important because like it keeps my attention undivided when I'm focused on something. Because like a nigga like me, I hate being bothered when I'm like focusing on something, right? And constant distractions keep me from entering a flow state. Like imagine you're doing a job that you like, that you're really good at, that you've done for a long time consistently, and you like doing, you're passionate about it. You're doing that and suddenly you feel a vibration in your pocket. Not only is that a momentary lapse in concentration, but that distraction now leaves you wondering who texted you. Maybe it's an out notification, but now you're really curious, right? Then you check your phone and it's just the Wendy's app promoting their new Frosty deal. Kind of bullshit, bro. Like now imagine that happening 10 times an hour. It's a constant distraction, bro. Social media companies and like shit, every company that's behind every app you have on your phone is going to like will hate this part, right? They will hate this tip because, you know, they want to hijack your attention. They want you to check, like they're constantly trying to get you to spend more of your attention on them. They make the most money when your eyes are glued to that screen, right? You gotta understand, like this phenomenon is engineered, right? These companies are intentionally trying to get you to not spend time with your family, dog. You know what I'm saying? No, but for real though, like keep your notifications on silent. People might say this is your toxic trait if you do this. I'm not saying I'm not putting my shit on do not disturb, even though I do that. Please understand, this one really makes a difference. This one is like one of the heavy hitters on this list. Please do not let your attention be fragmented constantly throughout the day. It might seem small, but this shit really adds up. Okay. All right, now on to the next. This one is, you know, this is kind of an offshoot of the previous point, but number 4, I want you to turn off social media notifications. Now this is a big one because it's never that important to keep getting constant notifications of your friends sending you those brain rot reels and TikToks or seeing that someone just posted. Dude, if I kept Instagram notifications on my phone, bro, it would be vibrating non-stop. You know those you know those unemployed friends who go on, you know, those hour-long benders and they send you 25 reels in a row before you brush your teeth in the morning? Dude, yeah, I have several. I got a handful of those friends, bro, and I love them to death because I be sending them shit too, but it's never that deep, right? I mean, I also be low-key turning off Teams notifications for work because, you know, I'm not trying to think about work like that, especially on my personal phone, but y'all not ready for that conversation yet. I don't want to think about work off the clock, but, you know.
One hot and ready pizza, $5.
you're probably going to be noticing a little trend in this list of, how like these tips kind of blend in with, having an overall healthy life in general too. These kind of sound like health habits too. Since I'm still a gentleman and I still watch every reel that my friends send me, I need to set aside time to do so, right? Because my screen time cannot be too high in order for me to be productive. So I need to make my time productive, right? So in order to make that time productive, I watch niggas reels at the gym. I watch these reels at the gym, bro. Specifically, I do it when I'm on a cardio machine. I'm on the treadmill, I'm on a bike, or I'm on the Stairmaster. See, this enables me to be on social media without feeling that extra guilt of being unproductive, right? And it doubles as a motivator to stay in shape, right? Because it actually helps me forget that I'm even exercising, and it really makes the time fly, right? It makes exercising is a lot less monotonous and soul sucking if I'm distracted by the absolute bangers, let me tell you, that my friends send me. Number 6 on this list is I just really want you to go on walks, right? Specifically, I need you to go on walks without stimulation. I'm serious. Leave your headphones at home. Go on a walk. Just exist, right? Go on a walk and just think about shit. Clear your mind, right? Think of this like a mental detox. It's easier for me because I have to walk my dogs anyway, but this is such a useful habit for mindfulness and mental clarity, right? It doesn't have to be long, at least 30 minutes, but let me tell you, like, this really does make a huge difference in your life. It gives your mind the space to wonder and actually think about the things that you've been putting up, that you've been repressing, that you've been ignoring, right? And it also gives your brain time to like really just explore itself, right? Like your thoughts, your imagination, like let your mind run wild. You don't have to do any, like, this is the best thing about this tip. Like, you don't have to really do anything consciously. You don't have to try to do anything. Just walk. You're going to be thinking regardless, right? So just really take this to heart, that going on a walk and just existing out in nature, whatever, walking down the street in your neighborhood, it does a lot. Number 7 on this list, this is more just a personal preference. I don't use my phone in social settings, and I want you to try to do that too. See, this may seem like a weird one, but especially being an older Gen Z or a Zillennial, if you may, I can't tell you how many times I see people just glued to their phones while hanging out with someone else. This is something that I do naturally because I don't like splitting my attention and like multitasking, right? I don't like doing that shit anyway because it makes me anxious, and it really enables me to be fully present in the conversation and give whoever I'm with my full attention. It might feel odd to point out, but I'm not talking about pulling out your phone to check something real quick and then putting it back away, or you're just showing your friends something funny on your phone. No, I'm talking about like full on scrolling, glued to your phone while you're talking to somebody, while you're at the hangout, while you with the friends, you with the boys, or you with the girlies, and everybody's just vibing, but you just on your phone. Like you're the friend that's like glued to your phone nonstop the whole time, just doing completely separate mobile tasks that have nothing to do with whoever you're hanging out with. I just feel like that's rude. I mean, it's situational, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're being rude, but just from my perspective, like seeing that from the outside looking in, it just is giving rudeness, right? Like it feels rude, and it diminishes the shared experience that you should be having with whoever you're with, right? Like I said, there are exceptions, right? But I think for the most part, it's not really the greatest look. And this isn't necessarily a mindfulness hack like the rest of this list. It's really something I would like to see a lot more of in the world, because like my generation is not great with social skills, me included, right? Me included. All of these, everything on this list is because I needed it, right? But habits like this don't really help our situation. So I just want to urge you to just really be intentional about how you're spending your time. That's it, bro. I'll stop here for right now to keep this from, becoming a yap session like some of my other videos. If I think of more habits, I'll make another one for y'all. But for now, take care. I'm out.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Oh, hell no.